First of all, welcome to Alibaba.com US webinar series. My name is Ella Horwitz and I am a senior marketing manager here at Alibaba.com in our North America division. We host webinars twice a month covering a vast array of topics about selling on Alibaba.com, our platform, and also how to succeed in today's ever increasingly complicated world of global and local trade. So to view all of our past webinars or educational materials, please visit alibaba.com/success hub. So for all educational materials, webinars that you may have missed, it's alibaba.com/success hub. And so I am very excited today to welcome veteran US seller Chad Michael to speak with all of us. Chad is the founder and CEO of Synergy Consulting International, a Florida-based tech company and digital agency created to meet a growing need in the digital and retail space for understanding how to sell on international platforms like Alibaba.com. Chad is very passionate about the development and intersection of digital marketing technologies, consumer products, and cross-border e-commerce trade. Prior to Synergy, Chad developed international export strategies for some of the largest brand manufacturers and distributors in the US and overseas. But before we get started, I just wanted to give a quick announcement about how to submit questions during the webinar. So you'll see a Q&A button down below or to your side, and Chad and I will get to all of your questions at the end of his presentation, but feel free to submit as many questions as you want as he's speaking with us today. So without further ado, please welcome Chad Michael to share some of his wisdom, advice, and tips with us today. Chad, glad to have you.
Thanks, Ella. Appreciate it. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so I'm very grateful to be joining everyone today. I'd like to start off by clarifying a few things. First of all, there's a lot of people and variables and moving parts involved when it comes to setting up a global online storefront. So it's important to understand that everyone's journey will be different. There's no timeline and everyone's timeline is different. It's difficult to put a timeline to success and say it takes 6 months to achieve X amount of sales. Overall, the most important thing is to have a winning product strategy in place, meaning the products you are trying to sell must be in demand and have good margins. The last thing before I get started is that e-commerce sales are not guaranteed. I think that's very important. Assortment growth is making winning in the e-commerce harder than ever, and marketing dollars aren't able to support all items at all times. That being said, I've put together a presentation here of 5 tips to reach your first 1 million in sales on Alibaba.com. As an introduction, I think Ella pretty much covered it all. My name's Chad Michael. I'm the founder and CEO of Synergy Consulting International. As one of Alibaba's first certified partners in the US, we use our years of experience trading on the platform to help drive new B2B revenue growth for our clients. And as Ella stated, prior to Synergy, I've developed international export strategies for companies like Unilever and ConAgra and Mishcan, and helped grow their revenue worldwide. So I'm going to work my way up to what I believe is the most important tip. So tip number 5 being just as important, but maybe not as important is tip number 1. So tip number 5 is the world is going digital and so is business. The first thing is for any company looking to get on Alibaba is developing a digital e-commerce strategy. Whatever industry you are in, there are already thousands of other businesses doing exactly what you're doing. Analyze your competitors, discover what they don't have that you do, identify your unique selling points, and be able to communicate this through your online presence. One of the best ways to communicate this is through social media. If your business doesn't already have a website and social media pages, start here. Utilize these pages to redirect and drive more traffic to your Alibaba storefront. Social media is an ever-changing landscape, but it's very valuable when it comes to online digital e-commerce because it's effective because the data is provided by the user, so it's clean and accurate, and it's actionable data that you can use. So I put a little graph in here. US B2B small to medium businesses see key benefits to digitization. So reaching more customers, being a top benefit, and finding suppliers more quickly on the other side. I can say from my experience on Alibaba, that's probably the biggest thing Alibaba can help businesses with, is reaching more customers and finding those gaps in distribution or areas of distribution that weren't on your radars before, because they're able to actually search you out and find your products and find your business. Tip number 4 is grow online sales with mobile optimization. This is really important because although most of the work goes in on the desktop, meaning most of your product uploads and how you put together the storefront will be done on a desktop, the consumer or the person on the actual other end that's consuming this information is most likely going to be looking at it on their cell phone. Mobile search has already eclipsed desktop search in volume. So you want to make sure that although you're designing your Alibaba website on a desktop computer, that you check to what it looks like on mobile, because you may need to make some adjustments so it's a little bit user-friendly or maybe flows a little better. If you don't want to leave sales on the table, it's vital that your Alibaba storefront is optimized for mobile. Think of your mobile visitors and do everything you possibly can do to make it effortless for them to buy from you while they're on the go. Now, some of these businesses will be on the desktop, but the majority of them you'll find will be ordering products and submitting inquiries through their mobile device. Tip number 3, use remarketing to redirect traffic back to your Alibaba.com storefront. This is huge. That's why with tip number 5, I said get your website and your social media set up, because that's where you're going to use to drive traffic to your Alibaba.com storefront. Capture and record your customers' data on Alibaba and use this data to remarket. Whether you're remarketing your content or a specific time-sensitive sale offer, remarketing is arguably the single most effective way to increase sales online. Not only does remarketing keep your brand at the forefront of prospects' minds, but it also provides would-be customers with numerous additional opportunities to convert. I can't tell you how many times I've made contact with a buyer on Alibaba and eventually remarketed to them through email advertising and closed a new sale. So I wanted to give a few examples of effective remarketing tools that I've used on Alibaba: email marketing campaigns, mass email marketing campaigns, capturing these buyers' email addresses, their geographical location, their information, and then remarketing to them through email is a very effective way for B2B e-commerce. Google search engine optimization. Roughly 50% of ad dollars flow to Google and Facebook. They call it America's duopoly. Together, they are expected to take 83% of every new ad dollar. That's pretty incredible if you think about it. So it's important that you have some sort of search engine optimization strategy where if a customer is searching for the products you sell on Alibaba on Google, that your Alibaba storefront is populating in those search results. The other one would be in social media ad campaigns. As we already discussed, social media is effective because the data is provided by the user, so it's clean and accurate. This is a little graph example of what remarketing looks like. So a visitor would come to your site, excuse me, and then let's say the visitor leaves 10 items in their basket and then doesn't check out. A remarketing ad would target them on another platform and close that sale, redirect them back to your storefront so they can purchase the goods. Excuse me. Sorry. Tip number, excuse me. Tip number 2, win the digital shelf. Most of the battle in selling a product online, I'm sorry, something stuck in my throat for a second. Okay, tip number 2, winning the digital shelf. This is super important. Most of the battle in selling a product online is identifying exactly who will buy it. In-store shoppers use aisles to navigate shelves. Online shoppers use keywords to navigate shelves. Excuse me. When you go into a store and you're looking to purchase an item, you look up at the signs above the aisle to find the aisle that your item is located in. Online shoppers use keywords to navigate shelves. And online shoppers, unlike in-store shoppers, have an endless amount to view. So they use keywords to navigate those shelves. This space is still winnable because this space is ever growing. Oh my goodness. Over 50% of items sold show up in the top 5 search rank, 75% in the top 10. Identifying and deploying winnable keywords that lead to your digital shelf is paramount. There is enormous opportunity for US small businesses to grow their brands globally with ease using platforms like Alibaba.com. Excuse me. Examples of how to win the digital shelf. There's basically 2 ways. Organic search, which is where everyone should start. When someone is searching, trying to find and purchase your item, what are the keywords they use? When those keywords are searched, does your item pop up? That's organic. Results are not ranked according to the relevance to the search term and cannot be influenced by paid advertising. Non-organic search results are paid advertisements. So wherever you can't organically win a search result, you would put marketing spend behind those keywords as paid advertisements. An example of this and something that's very useful on Alibaba is their keyword advertising program. Unlike Amazon, they actually offer an advertising platform where you can spend your dollars directly on Alibaba. It's a precision marketing service with massive exposure and is available to all gold suppliers. This is huge. If you want to be successful on Alibaba, you have to put some keyword advertising spend to your storefront through Alibaba. Set a monthly budget and track and measure results. And then tip number 1, excuse me, is reducing friction. Minimizing customer friction is the #1 factor in determining whether you're successful in selling your product online. Do everything you can to ensure your customers get the best experience possible, beginning with the information customers need in order to make a purchase. Examples of this would be a robust product description with the right positioning, pictures, video, to customer testimonials and reviews, to details on taxes, shipping, and delivery. You want everything very clear for the person that's purchasing your item. The best way to reduce friction on Alibaba is by signing up through an Alibaba.com channel partner. My company, Synergy Consulting International, is an Alibaba.com channel partner. And basically what we do is we provide a full service Alibaba marketplace agency that delivers a turnkey platform to launch and optimize and scale brands and products worldwide in a way that meets customized needs of each client. So the best way is to work with the experts. Just like selling on Amazon, you want to do really well on Amazon, you're going to go find someone that's an expert on Amazon. You want to work with the people that are experts on Alibaba, and you can do this through their channel partner program and through my company, Synergy Consulting International. How do you sign up and how do you contact me for these services? You can visit this link right here and fill it out and submit it, or you can email your company information to our team directly at mgmt@synergycintl.com. And our website's here for more information as well. But by placing your brand on the global stage, you through a channel partner, you can drive 40% more revenue. So, working with people that understand the platform is the best way to get up and running successfully quickly. With that being said, I'm going to open it back to Ella for any questions.
Thank you so much, Chad. So we have a few questions from the audience during the presentation, and feel free to submit questions now. Chad, as a veteran US seller in Alibaba.com, has all the wisdom, advice, and tips on really how to use our platform better. And so I think it's also a great opportunity to dig into more about Synergy Consulting International while we're live on this webinar. But before we get started, let's see, we have 3 questions from John. So the first question for you, Chad, is how would you suggest the best approach to find buyers in all countries?
Thanks, Ella. And I wanted to apologize for everyone about my coughing attack midway through. Of course, of course, something like that happens. But
Good, we're all
was the question, how do you, can you ask it one more time for me, Ella?
Of course. So the first one's from John, and it's, how would you suggest the best approach is to find buyers in all countries? And John also said you handled the coughing very well.
Thanks, John. The best way is to make sure that you're reaching those marketplaces. You want to start at marketplaces that are large, go by GDP or gross domestic product. So you want to target the big markets first, but the best way to make sure you're targeting every market is to win organic search, right? You want to be winning that organic search. If you sell hair care products and someone's looking for shampoo and they type in USA shampoo on Alibaba, you want to make sure that you're populating on that first page, because those populated results are going to be reaching every market.
Awesome. The second question is, what is the unique difference of Google marketing versus Alibaba's marketing options? So KWA, also keyword advertising, which is a great question, especially about, Chad, if you could dive a little bit more into KWA as a whole and kind of pinpoint the really benefits of Alibaba's KWA advertising.
Yeah, so all the advertising on Alibaba is actually done internally on the platform. Anything you do outside of Alibaba, that's your prerogative, that's your initiative. But the most effective results are going to be seen on money spent through the platform. I'll give you an example. Let's say we're selling vitamin C gummies or some sort of vitamin and supplements. You have the ability through keyword advertising on Alibaba to purchase certain keywords. So you might purchase the word vitamin C for the USA marketplace, meaning you pay the keyword advertising spend every time that term is searched on the platform. You own that term, and your product results are going to populate first. And it's really important to understand that it's hard to be successful without putting any marketing dollars behind anything. But especially in Alibaba, where you're trying to generate that B2B sale, those volume sales and those larger sales, you want to make sure you're putting the correct ad spend to target the right people and find the real big players. So their KWA system is I've used it for many years. It's set up very well. It's very easy, and through a channel partner, that's something I would handle for you myself. I would handle what keywords I would advise on, maybe what keywords you should purchase and why, but also you upload a monthly budget to the keyword advertising in the portal, and then it pulls from that budget monthly. So you're not spending you're not spending any money in a way that isn't getting results. Money's only spent when the term is searched. So you would have a monthly budget on your Alibaba keyword advertising account, and then as those terms are searched, that money would be trickle out of that account. So it's not like you're not going to spend $500 a month if people aren't searching it that much.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep. So the money you spend only actually gets spent once it's used and clicked on.
That's correct.
Awesome. And then there's one more question where some more coming in, but another question from John Webb is, keyword marketing, do you find the impressions are helping or clicks as the most valuable measuring tactic? If impressions are 50,000 and clicks are 20, what is the best approach to modify the tactic?
That's a really good question. So they're all important because it's all measurable data. But I would say at the end of the day, you want the consumer on the other end to be creating something actionable for them, meaning you want them to click, because when they click, it drives them to where you want them to be on your product page. So it's different for every category. It does vary, but I would say I paid more attention to clicks and how can we increase clicks, and to increase clicks, you increase impressions. So they're kind of related, not mutually exclusive. And it's about, I'd say a good number. Now, don't hold me to this on everything, but about 10%. So if you're getting 200 clicks, I would say you're going to get 20 orders. So that's what I see kind of on Alibaba with my experience is tracking it that way. Is if you want to increase clicks, you increase impressions. If you want to increase impressions, well, you have to upload more products, you have to buy more keywords, and you have to drive more traffic. So it's all kind of just a system where you're only, a system where you're only paying for results.
Awesome. So it essentially goes hand in hand.
Yeah, and you would want, if you have 50,000 impressions and 20 clicks, I would say that that click is really low. So why is that click low is what I would ask yourself. If you're getting 50,000 impressions, you're having a large audience, but not very many people are clicking on it. And so I would look into product image posting. Do you have good marketing videos? Do you have good details? Is it populating correctly? And if you visit those things, you should be able to increase those clicks. And if you increase the clicks, you'll increase the orders.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. So we have a ton more questions coming in. One is from Jonah. What is the best way to handle inquiries? How do I find ones that are worth my time? And so we get a lot of these questions from current sellers on Alibaba.com. Which inquiries are worth my time? How do I answer them properly? And how do I know that it's a good quality inquiry?
Good question, Jonah. This is actually a very good question. And what I like to say is you have to filter those leads. So if you have 1,000 leads coming in on your Alibaba storefront, they're not all going to be big players and they're all not all going to be serious leads. So how do you filter out those serious leads and get in contact with those people? One way that I have found is by creating a standardized kind of message template to where you're approaching these leads in the same way, but also along the way, maybe redirecting these leads to a landing page where you're capturing their information. And then once that information is captured, you can sort through that data and allocate it to certain sales reps where they can kind of reach back out to those customers or retarget them and see if they can fulfill their sales needs. So for example, if I received an inquiry for one of the products I posted on Alibaba, and they're saying, hey, what's the minimum order quantity on this item, and can we import it to South Africa? I may respond to them and say, thank you for your message on Alibaba.com. Please visit this link and submit this information, and the sales rep will reach out to you as soon as possible. Well, once they fill out that information and click submit, I'm going to receive that information on my end where I'm capturing it in a database and where I'm able to send that to a sales rep where they can service their needs. But what you'll find is 80% of the people that you may redirect to that page aren't going to fill out that information. So by doing so, you're filtering out those people that aren't serious buyers.
Wonderful. That's a great tip. John Webb also asked for your contact information. So I think at the end of this, I'll also post it in the group and we'll send an email out to everyone who's on the call for Chad's contact information, and we'll repost it at the end. So that was a great reminder from John. Another question that came in is, how can we do a good marketing campaign if we have limited clients to cater with? If you, for example, if you are a US-based company and you can only cater to US businesses.
That's actually one of the best benefits about Alibaba is that you can turn on and off marketplaces. So when it comes to maybe trying to find out what markets you should approach first or where you should spend your marketing dollars, it's very valuable because you can maybe include all markets, and then out of those all markets, you can see where you gain the most traction, and those would be the markets you want to approach first. Or if there's markets you don't want your products to be listed in and you don't want to sell in, or somebody who's already have that covered, you can turn off those markets and just make your product available on the US Alibaba and not the China Alibaba or the Australia website. So you have the ability to control, what countries are seeing your product. I always advise my clients to expose it as much as they can and not limit themselves to one market. But if you have to, that's definitely an option.
Wonderful. So another question is also from John. Is international shipping paid by the seller or the buyer, and what is the quote best practice for that?
It's determined by the seller. So when you upload the product, you're going to determine whether it's free shipping or if the customer on the other end is paying for the shipping. On smaller orders that are, you're processing through the platform, typically the customer will pay the shipping, but on maybe those inquiries that are coming in for, let's say there's a retailer overseas that finds your product in the US marketplace and maybe they want to import it. That's one of those leads where you would take that lead off of the platform and you'd probably handle that lead outside of the platform, because you're talking about a container a month or 12 containers a year of product you'd be shipping a retailer that has 1,000 stores overseas. So those bigger volume sales are typically handled that way. And in terms of logistics and shipping, that's all figured out between you and the retailer. When I upload products to Alibaba that sell in smaller quantities and transact over the platform, I typically have the customer pay shipping. If I'm having trouble getting orders for that item, I may run a campaign where I offer free shipping on a certain product line for X amount of time.
Awesome. And then one other thing that I do want to mention is Alibaba has also partnered with TransferMate for just to ease the pain of international payments. So I'll send another note later at the end about a new partnership that we've launched to aid this specific challenge that a lot of sellers face with international payments.
And I have also resources as well for fulfillment and shipping. If there's any sellers out there that need some help with that, I'm more than happy to help. You can contact me, email, or phone.
Wonderful. Okay, from Gladys, we have, how can we do a good marketing campaign if we have limited clients / buyers to cater to? Oh, this was the same questions. So I think the answer, if you just want to repeat the answer again about specific targeting to different countries. And then also, I think, Chad, if you want to highlight the benefit of Alibaba is also that you can expand your reach, that you to come to countries that you may not already be selling to.
Yeah, and just because someone wants to order your product and maybe you don't want to sell to that region, you're in control of your storefront. So you don't have to sell to them. You're in total control of what product is being shipped and what information is being sent out. So
yeah. Awesome. And then another one is, can you tell us of a product that you help with so we can see what they've done based on your suggestions, or is that confidential? I guess an example.
Can you say that one more time? It cut out on me.
Yeah. So can you tell us an example of a product that you've helped with so we can see what you've done, how they've performed based off of your suggestions, or is that confidential? So I think John's trying to understand more about Synergy Consulting, what you do with as a channel partner for Alibaba.
Yeah, so for example, I work with a distributor out of Miami that represents some big brands in the US, cosmetic brands, body care brands, skincare brands, and they've signed up through my program as a channel partner through Alibaba. Basically, I handle everything for them. I handle the setup of the storefront, the products uploading, I help them with their marketing campaigns, and I guide them on a way to be successful month by month. And in terms of maybe some other product examples, one of the best products I did on Alibaba years ago, going back now, is when I exported ragu bertolli pasta sauces. We worked with Mishkan, it's a Japanese company, and we had rights to certain regions. So we had the rights to South Africa and Australia and Eastern China to export ragu and bertolli pasta sauce. At the time, we had okay distribution, but we really needed to grow our sales in order to keep that contract that we had with them. So we put those products on Alibaba, and we ended up finding a lot of gaps in distribution that we weren't covering overseas because these people just didn't know how to find the product. The demand was there, but they weren't sure who to get in contact with in the US to actually receive the product. So by posting it on Alibaba, it got us in contact with those people and helped us resolve those gaps in distribution. And I think we did about 6 million more that year in ragu bertolli.
Amazing. And then another quick question I have for you is, do you have any, as Synergy Consulting, do you have any specialties that you focus on, or can any sellers that are interested in selling on Alibaba contact and reach out to you?
Anybody that's selling on Alibaba can contact and reach out to me.
Alibaba, if they're interested in expanding or international sales as well.
Yes. I don't think I understood the question. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just asking if you had a specialty in a specific region or product, or if anyone can reach out to you.
anyone can reach out to us. Typically, you have to have a winning product strategy. So, if you come to me and you have, two products and that you don't have any sales yet, it's going to be hard to say, hey, I can make you successful overnight on Alibaba.com. But if you have some good distribution and it's a volume item with a winning product strategy, you'll be able to be successful on Alibaba. And the value is, even if you're not getting the sales initially when you first start, the value is in the data, because that's what's going to give you the actionable insights where you'll make those key adjustments, and maybe it'll answer some questions of why you aren't selling the product.
Awesome. So another two more questions came in. One is, I am a US-based gold supplier. I've successfully added trade assurance to my account. The thing is, when I try to proceed with my orders through trade assurance, it asks me for tracking numbers, and the available options are up. Oh, UPS, FedEx, and USPS. I want to handle the shipping myself. I want to send the products myself. Do you have any solution for this?
You should be able to still ship the products yourself. And when you do ship them, just take that tracking number and enter it into that box on Alibaba, and you shouldn't have any issues. Are they saying they would like to go through a different carrier than what's offered on there?
I think they're saying that instead of going through carriers, they want to be able to ship it themselves through trade assurance, and they're wondering if that's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. You can draft trade assurance orders on there, on the platform, in the top right-hand corner of the portal. I don't have it pulled up right now, but there is a way where you can draft up documents on there for trade assurance, yes.
Awesome. So Bahman, I'd suggest just reaching out to Chad if you have any more specific questions and interested in all of his wisdom and knowledge. Okay, another question, how to get container load orders on Alibaba? How's the market for temporary? I'm not sure if that's a seller question. It's from an anonymous attendee. So if you could rephrase the question and submit it, that would be helpful for us. Another one from Gladys is, can we do a marketing campaign on Alibaba on our own? Or do we need to sign up for a marketing partner for product boosting?
You can do it on your own. That's what makes Alibaba so great. However, it is always best to go through somebody that's maybe spent a little bit of ad money on the platform before and kind of understands. That way, you get a little bit more for your spend. Anybody can launch a marketing campaign on there. It's launching it on Alibaba internally, and then how do you tie that advertising campaign into your other stuff like Google SEO, Facebook, website. That's gonna be the difference in what drives traffic. And if you want to increase sales, you need to increase the traffic to your storefront, because you'll get more impressions and more clicks and more orders.
Awesome. And I definitely encourage everyone on this call to reach out to Chad. I think what he has is an expertise that most people don't. He's sold on Alibaba. He knows the platform better than pretty much anyone I know. And so if you have any questions about our products, selling more, getting started to sell on Alibaba, if your product's the right fit, just reach out to Chad. And Chad, I'll leave it open for a few more questions. I know we have still a lot of people on the call. Yeah. If you want to just reshare your contact information and how people can reach you, that'd be great.
Okay, not a problem. Let me see.
And if anyone has any more questions, feel free to just send it in the Q&A box.
So my contact information is here on the bottom left. Is our website, my phone number, and a good email for me. Anybody can call me anytime. I'm happy to talk with people and tell them more about Alibaba and the partner program and how to drive good sales on the platform. The best way to learn more about our business is to just visit our website. A lot of what we do is on there, including an Alibaba Seller Services Program outline. There's a button on there in the middle of the screen that you'll see. If you click on that button, you can download. It's kind of a business proposal that kind of gives you an outline of how it works. And I just want to take a moment and thank everybody again for attending, and I look forward to talking with everyone, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chad. I think it's time to wrap up. If anyone has any last minute questions, submit it now. If not, I've just sent Chad's email in the chat box, and we'll also send a email out to everyone who attended. But thank you all for all of your questions. We're definitely going to do more of this, and definitely reach out to Chad. He is the master of Alibaba.com export selling. And so reach out to him with all of your questions.
Thanks, Ella.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.